News from the sports world, and one of the NBA's hottest young stars is in hot water this morning. 23-year-old Memphis Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant has been benched by the team after video surfaced on Instagram of him appearing to be holding a gun in a nightclub.
The NBA confirmed that they are aware of a social media post involving Ja Morant and are investigating. And the Grizzlies announced that Morant would sit out last night's game against the Clippers as well as tomorrow's game. In a statement, Morant said he took full responsibility for his actions and apologized to his family, team, and fans. Morant also said that he would be taking some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress. Mike Vorkunov, national basketball business reporter for The Athletic, joins us now to talk about this. Good morning, Mike. Thank you for being here. So first off, what more do we know about what happened, and what do NBA investigations typically look like?
Well, it's been a number of incidents going back to the summer that has gotten Ja Morant in this place. There was, reportedly an incident in the summer where he punched a teenager after playing basketball at his house. There was an incident with a security guard at a mall in the Memphis area. There was an incident in January where The Athletic reported that someone from his entourage had shined a laser into the team bus for the Indiana Pacers after a game. So what happened over the weekend was just really the last straw, I think, for Morant and for the Grizzlies. And now the NBA is investigating it, and their investigations can last any number of time, any number of days or weeks. There's a lot to look into, obviously, not only everything that's happened in the past, which they've also investigated, but also it seemed like as if he had a gun in the Instagram video. And so we'll see where that leads. The NBA doesn't have a timetable, and Ja Morant doesn't have a timetable to return. He's going to miss at least 2 games, and that obviously buys everyone a good amount of time before this all comes to conclusion.
So, Mike, Ja has a sneaker contract with Nike. In fact, the company just released its first shoe with him on Christmas Day. On its website, the shoe company calls Ja Nike basketball's first Gen Z signature athlete. So following the incident, Nike did release a statement that says it appreciates Ja's accountability and support him prioritizing his well-being. So how have situations like this, where NBA players are investigated by the league for actions off the court, how can that impact athletes in their endorsements? What have we seen in the past?
I think Nike has shown in its past to have a long bandwidth with players when they've gotten into some trouble. We just saw this over the last few years with Kyrie Irving, who obviously had his own bit of trouble while he was with the Brooklyn Nets, and Nike stood by him for a while before ultimately severing its relationship back in November. And Ja Morant is now an integral part of Nike's future going forward. As you said, he's the face of its Gen Z generation, right? They just released a shoe. He's immensely popular with especially kids and the demographics that buy shoes. And so they have a lot invested in him. And I think that they would stand by him unless there's something more explosive that comes out. But, in the past, we've seen really it differs from shoe company to shoe company, how much trouble is, how much heat is too much for a company to stand by. But I would think in this time, at least Nike watches as all of this plays out and see what goes on with Ja going forward.
And Mike, briefly here, we know that the NBA had initially said that Ja would miss only 2 games as a result of this. But last night, the Grizzlies coach seemed to indicate that it could be longer. So could this whole thing have a larger impact on the future of the Grizzlies season and his career?
Look, I think so. When the Grizzlies made their statement, they said he would miss a minimum of 2 games, right? And yesterday, the Grizzlies coach, Taylor Jenkins, said that there's no definite timeline on this. So we don't know when Ja Morant will come back. Obviously, it's important for the Grizzlies that he does. They're the 2nd seed in the Western Conference right now. They're a possible title contender. But outside of that, I think they're going to give him the distance that he needs and the time that he needs to make sure that everything's right, because this isn't an isolated incident. We've had now, almost a year full of things that have happened, including Ja Morant, that you can point to and make this kind of a continued issue for him. And so I think that with how much scrutiny this is getting, this might last a little bit longer than just 2 games.
We'll be watching. Mike Vorkunov, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.